Dum 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 ba-dum ba-dum dum dum ba-dum ba-dum dum da ba-do ba-dum do-da-do-do-do-da-do dum 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 ba-dum ba-dum da-da 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 da-da.
Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? Back to the live stream life. Haven't done a live stream in a while. I wanted to start with a song because I know there's a lot to worry about these days. I think I'm not alone in that in general in the world, there's a lot to worry about. And when I perform, I like to set the stage as while I'm playing. That is my excuse, that's my time to not have to worry about anything. I get to play some tunes and hang out with you all. So thanks for coming by. Thanks, Vincent, for having me. And I'm excited to share a good evening with you all. Here's a little song I wrote. You might have to sing it note for note, so don't worry, don't worry. Be happy. In your life expect some trouble. When you worry you make it double, so don't worry, don't worry. Be happy. Ooh, some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. So don't worry, no, don't worry now. Be happy. Your landlord say your rent is late. He may have to lift the gate. So don't worry, don't worry. Hey, be happy, happy. Ooh, 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 don't worry, be happy, be happy. No need to worry. Let me give you my phone number. When you worry, call me, eh? No need to worry. Not when you're watching one of these live streams from the underground. No, don't worry. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, got no got to make us smile. Don't worry, yeah. Happy, 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 be happy. Thank you. All right, I go by Julia Rose for those who don't know me, and I'm going to talk about this more throughout the night, but I'm very excited that been working on a video series album thing for a very long time, and I finally have a completed version of that. So to celebrate, tonight I'm going to do mostly originals. And this next tune is a song called Now Is the Time, since now is always the time. Dum ba do ba do ba do da, dum ba do ba do ba do da, dum ba do ba do ba do da, dum ba do ba do da, dum ba do ba do da, dum ba da 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 do da, do da do do da da ba ba da 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 da. Now is the time, now is the, 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 set intentions, maintain connections, have faith in the unknown to see what's possible. Life's creative puzzle. I will always and forever be growing as long as I am alive. Focus on feeding your body and mind, and the rest is waiting for you to find. Now is the time, now is the time, now is the time. Dun da da dun da 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 yeah. Intentions, maintain connections, have faith in the unknown to see what's possible. Life's creative puzzle. I will always and forever be growing as long as I am alive. Focus on feeding your body and mind, and the rest is waiting for you to find. Now is the time. Now is the now is the now is now is now is the now is now is the now is the now is the time. Now is the now is the time. Now is the now stir opportunities. Now speak joyfully. Now stir opportunities. Now just to wait, just to wait. Now is the time. The time is now. Thank you. Now's the time. Now's the time to vote. Yeah, see that segue? Seriously though, this is, everyone knows this, but definitely the most important election in my lifetime. So I really hope that everyone has a plan to vote, and if you don't, then let's talk about it, because I would love to help you figure it out. Cool, enough about that. This is my night to not worry, and yours as well, but please vote. Cool. Woo. Okay, so I mentioned I'm going to do originals tonight, and here is a new one that I have never performed in front of anyone before. soul dance. Mean what you say what you mean. Try it all, hold everything that makes your soul dance. For however long that you can. Thank you. Woo. Is the viola loud enough? I'm gonna do another original next. I will do a cover at some point, but tonight, as I mentioned, I'm really excited that my video series, the Sauntering Studio series / first album, is finally complete in a sense. At least this stage of it, and ready to be shared soon enough. I'm not going to share it quite yet, but at my next live stream I will be announcing my plan for all of that. But in the meantime, right now I'm sharing some new songs, new original songs I've yet to perform, as well as some old. And if you'd like to stay connected and figure out more about my next live stream and when I'll be announcing this stuff, then definitely follow Julia Rose Studios. Given that I bring my studio into outer space, or later I'll do some sneak previews of the video series and show you all the different places I really bring my studio, so you'll get a sense as to why I call myself that. But in the meantime, this is a song called Life's in Progress. Control to the unknown to prove how you have grown. You know that I've only got so much energy to loan. No need to think about what's left to be shown. Hold that boundary to see what values matter to me. You know that I'm trying to be the best version that I can be, and I'll stay here till it's time to leave. I sleep, home is where I stand, home is wherever I am. Boom, dee da doo da doo, dee da doo da 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 doo da da dee da. Let the river flow, and who knows where it goes, where it goes. Let the river flow, and who knows where it goes, where it goes. Let the river flow, and who knows where it goes. I will ride it home, I'll ride it home. Let the river flow, let the river flow, let the river flow, let the river flow. Let the river flow, and who knows where it goes, let the river flow. Thank you. I don't know if y'all can hear, but there are people in the room and they're clapping, so I feel like I gotta pause, but the people on the screen, they are in their living rooms, hopefully cozied up, drinking a nice glass of wine or something, you know. Yeah, I guess they're clapping too. That's what Vincent says. Speaking of Vincent, he's the man behind the magic. He's the one that owns this wonderful studio, so check out the underground studio, especially if you have any recording needs. He's got it all figured out. And he also has this green screen skill in his pocket. And he's a photographer as well. Look at that segue. Speaking of that, wait, I feel like in a sec I'll move out of the way because I want you to appreciate this photo that he took. All right, that's all you get because I'm here to play music. But yeah, we had we went filming in a cave, and we played with all sorts of fire and sparks. So hopefully it lights your spark to go be creative and call Vincent up and be like, yo, I want a picture like that. All right, I'm going to do a song. It's a cover. You probably recognize it. Feel free to sing along in your living room. And this cover in particular, I was inspired by an artist named Tune Yards. dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the heaven seas. Everybody is looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Thank you. All right. Well, I mentioned I've got some videos. Cue Vincent. I've got some videos coming up, so I wanted to give y'all a quick little snapshot. So don't look away, because this is only going to last for a couple minutes. But you can see some examples of all the places I mentioned. I bring my studio all over the country and on all sorts of adventures. So I wanted to give you all a sneak preview to get you excited of the series I'll be releasing of all the different places that I will bring the adventure to your living room. So in celebration of all these videos, I'm gonna do another original tune. I changed my mind. I'm gonna do a different original tune. Woo! all of the best, setting it in intention to last, recognizing the value in my every move, breaking down those walls, crumbling bricks while I jump fall, trusting the rhymes and the time that aligns as the universe unfolds. Align my intentions with my actions, with my actions, with my actions. Align my intentions with my actions. Mending the cracks with the best wounds, no longer bound by my old strict rules, sweeping away the crumbs of past pain. I take a step behind to see what can be gained. Align my intention with my actions. Align my actions with my intention. No, no. Why more do I crave? Going alone to my beautiful kid. Why more do I crave? Crawling alone to my beautiful kid. Line my intentions with my actions. Thank you. So you got a little extra than 2 minutes because we had the footage on loop. But that's enough of that. You'll have to wait till the series comes out to see the rest of it. So stay tuned. Please follow Julia Rose Studios if you don't already, because I've got lots more. And in the meantime, the pictures that I'm showing are pictures from my travels, which will also be a part of the project, as they already are right now. So the next song is another song off my album, and it's a song about self-empowerment and taking yourself on an adventure, even when there might not be somebody else to take you on an adventure. Yeah, 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 if I might let you in? Would you really give all that I need you to give? Hop along for the ride so I can confide. I've got love to share for all those who care. I don't mind being alone, I don't mind being alone. I don't share all that I need those who care. I don't mind being alone, I don't mind being alone. I don't share all that I need those who care. I don't mind being alone, I don't mind being alone. I don't share all that I need those who care. I don't mind being alone, I don't mind being alone. I don't share all that I need those who care. I don't mind being alone, I don't mind being alone. I don't mind being alone, 'cause I can go wherever I want to go. Thanks. So yeah, if that didn't inspire you to go off on an adventure, I don't know, it made me want to go on an adventure. So anyway, I'm going to keep doing some more tunes, and yeah, I don't know who's watching, but it's nice to have you here if you are. So, and thanks again to Vincent for having this. He does these every Thursday, so make sure to check out the Underground Studio, because there's all sorts of music coming through here. Wow. All right, this instrument was getting lonely. I honestly almost went the whole show without playing it. Yeah, I know. If anyone here knows the types of songs that I play and has a request, feel free to put that in the comments. Or if you have a question you want to ask me about my album or about my projects in general, please give a shout out, because I'll be here for playing music for another 20 minutes, and then Jamie is going to be coming up at the end, and we're going to do a little interview. So there's plenty of time for questions, and I love meeting new friends. Can you tell that I'm procrastinating choosing what song to play? I'm like, please make a request, please! All right, I've got this new song in my repertoire. I'm all about those new songs tonight, so it might not be as polished, but you know, I'm going to have a blast just because it's fun to switch it up, keep it spicy, as I like to say. Head underwater, and they'll tell me to breathe easy for a while. Breathing gets harder, even I know that. Made room for me, but it's too soon to see if I'm happy in your hands. I'm usually hard to hold on to. Blank stares at blank pages, no easy way to say this. I mean well, but you make this hard on me. I'm not gonna write you a love song, 'cause you asked for it, 'cause you need one. You see, I'm not gonna write you a love song, 'cause you tell me it's make or break in this. If you're on your way, I'm not gonna write you to stay. I'm not leaving, I'ma need a better reason to write you a love song today. I learned the hard way that they all say things you wanna hear. My heavy heart sinks deep down under you. When your twisted words, your help just hurts. You are not what I thought you were. A hello too high and dry. Convince me to please you, made me think that I need this too. I'm trying to let you hear me as I say, I'm not gonna write you a love song, cause you asked for it, cause you need one. You see, I'm not gonna write you a love song, cause you tell me it's make or break in this. If I'm on my way, I'm not gonna write you to stay. If all you have is leaving, I'ma need a better reason to write you a love song today. Promise me, whoa, you'll leave the light on to help me see, oh, with daylight my guide's gone. Cause I believe there's a way you can love me, because I say I won't write you a love song, cause you asked for it, cause you need one. You see, I'm not gonna write you a love song, cause you tell me it's make or break in this. Is that why you wanted a love song? Cause you asked for it, cause you need one. You see, I won't write you a love song, cause you tell me it's make or break in this. If you're on your way, I'm not gonna write you to stay. Your heart is over in it, I'm on it for a minute. If I walk the 7 seas, when I believe that there's a reason to write you a love song today. Woohoo! Sara Bareilles. I've always loved singing Sara Bareilles, and I've never performed any of her songs until the other day. I was like rocking out in the car, being like, why don't I do this more often? So, if you like Sara Bareilles, woohoo! We got a comment on my question.
Play your favorite cover if you haven't already. And then she heard this one and said she loves this one.
Wonderful. I don't know if you guys heard the question from Vincent, but you can probably see it. So I was just asked to play my favorite cover. And see, that's what's tough, is like, those who know me, I'm really indecisive. But, okay, here's another one that's fun to sing that you probably all know. When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye, just like an angel, skin makes me cry. You float like a right. Any more questions or requests? Because as we get closer and closer to the end, I might just do the songs I want to do anyway. Cool. So I announced the name of my album the other day, which is, drum roll please, Distracted Focus. I wonder if they can hear that. Yeah, probably. I just got an actual drum roll. All right. So, Distracted Focus is the title of the album. And so this next song is also called Distracted Focus. This is, actually really want to start that over because I love you all and I want you to hear what I want it to sound like. Woo! Thanks for sticking with me! Take 2. Questioning what is life for and what lies in store. To open a new door and find less is often more. Questioning what is life for and what lies in store. To open a new door and find less is often more. Questioning what is life for and what lies in store. To open a new door and find less is often more. Questioning what is life for and what lies in store. To open a new door and find less is often more.
distracted, but I always come back.
Thank you. All right, I got one more tune for you all. Yeah, and then we're gonna do a little interview. And this last song is not an original. This is a cover by Beyonce.
Tumbling down, you didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. Found a way to let you in, though I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's a risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm making out, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. Pray you won't fade away. Everything I need and more, and it's written in your face. Baby, I can see your halo. Baby, I can see your halo. Hit me like a ray of sun, burning through my darkest night. You're the only one that I want. Think I'm addicted to your light. Swear I'll never fall again, but this don't even feel like falling. Gravity can't forget to pull me back to the ground again. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's a risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. I pray you won't fade away. It's written in the stars and mine. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can see your halo. Pray you won't fade away. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Please check out Julie Rose Studios and the Underground Studio and vote. Woo! Vote him out. All right.
Good evening. We are here at the studios of the Underground in Randolph, Vermont. It's October 29th, 2020. And we just enjoyed a really captivating, compelling, and unique performance from Julia Rose. Thank you for coming, Julia, and thank you for that performance. It was great.
Thanks for watching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here in the studio, we can see you've got this great suitcase with a very colorful logo and with your name on it, and some instrumentation. But the suitcase carries some looping and some other pedals and some other stuff. What do you have in there?
Well, if you heard for those who are also tuning in to the set, looping is obviously my main focus. So I have 2 different looper pedals in there, as well as I have 5 different pedals for my instruments and for my voice to allow me to do different things. Delay, an octave pedal, reverb, a harmonizer, which I didn't really use tonight, but ultimately it's the loopers, which steal the show. I've got 2 different loopers, and that really allows me to do what I like to do, which is loop.
Very cool. Yeah, I have the advantage of being able to look inside the box here, and there's about 20 different knobs, and you got your pedals, and you don't perform barefoot. You've got the socks on, and I'm
close
marveling.
to barefoot.
I'm marveling because you must have some real dexterity in those feet to be able to.
Totally.
That alone is an accomplishment. But your voice and your songwriting and your musical passion is obviously most paramount.
Thank you.
Where did you start? When did you start?
Well, I've always been singing. Always been singing. And I started playing viola in 4th grade in school. I've been taking lessons and doing all the things in school that you do. And then I didn't start with my personal project until pretty recently. It's been 2 years since I started working on my album, and that was like really my first experience with songwriting. And then about a year ago this time, I started gigging full time, and that only lasted until the pandemic. But I used to play 3 to 5 shows a week starting last November. So that was really, but it took me a long time to get years to get everything together, because when you play a show, you play for 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 4 hours. So, you really have to have a lot pulled together before you can actually get your business rolling. And even so, I still feel like there's so much left that I'm excited to do.
Well, on all those marks, it seems like you're hitting like a professional level. Your voice songwriting and your ability, your prowess with the instrumentation and with this setup, the sound that you've got is really, and we'll get to your album. Distracted Focus is the name of the album, right? Mm-hmm. And the studio project is the Sauntering Studio series, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff is really unique, and I think I used the word earlier, is compelling because it's different than a lot of stuff you hear.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Albany area. Yeah.
And started viola at what age?
9. I mean, although I've gone back and forth to that. I didn't really fall in love with the viola until recently. I had this realization that you can play any genre that you want on the viola, even though in school and in general the first go-to is usually classical music. I was playing classical music until high school, and then when I graduated high school, I stopped playing viola because I was sick of playing classical music. And then I had this realization that you can play all these different genres. I joined a funk band and started playing the horn parts on my viola, and realized you can play jazz viola, you can play all different alternative things. So anyway, yeah,
and you can be super inventive. I hear a lot more cello and viola in a lot of alt rock and Americana today. Just kind of, and it really, there's something super emotive, I think, about the viola and cello, especially, and the violin is a little more limited, but only because it's super passionate to me. Like it usually drives a calm or a frenzy. It's either, you know what I mean? It's either violin or fiddle, but the viola,
it's got those richer tones.
Yeah.
This is actually a violin and a viola.
I wondered about that. Can you show us that? Show the listeners.
So it has 5 strings. I don't think they're going to be able to see it from all the way over there, but oh, look at that. Cameraman is zooming in. All right, you can see it. So, yeah, it's got 5 strings, and the, let's see if I can hold everything and still demonstrate this. So, the upper 4 strings make it a violin, and the lower 4 strings make it a viola, and the 3 strings in the middle occur on both instruments. So, because it's got that extra 5th string, it acts as essentially both instruments. It's got a little bit extra range.
Neat. Is that a recent hybrid in music, or has that been around for a long time?
I would assume it's been around for a while.
It does have really rich tones.
So it's a viola, and this is the size of a viola, but it has that high E string, which makes it have that range. And they also have instruments that are the size of a violin with that. I believe they have, don't quote me on this, I think they have instruments that are the size of a violin with a low C string. But I'm a violist at heart.
Nice. Now, the looping, well, I wanted to talk about influences first, I think. Seems to me your music's got a lot of influences, not only musical influences, but environmental too. Stepping into this sauntering studio project, and talk about your influences growing up and now. You played a few covers, but mostly originals. Yeah,
music-wise, you're saying?
Sure.
Well, Tune Yards, I already mentioned. I covered one of her covers, and Meryl Garbus does some really cool looping stuff, and so Kishi Bashi and Andrew Bird, they're all big loop artists, and the last 2 I mentioned play violin and loop their violin. So whereas Tune Yards is a female vocalist who plays ukulele, so a lot of similar instruments and very creative instrumentation in a way that they bring those instruments into a new genre that you don't usually necessarily hear, which you can see fits into my style. And then Hiatus Coyote is a neo-soul group that is also very unique, and that has always, they're very intricate, intricate rhythm, melody, and harmony. And the lead singer of that band is also her melodies just have always blown me out of the water. So I guess those are really the top ones. Of course, there's always a large variety of music that I've grown up listening to.
A lot in your subconscious. Back
Yeah,
here.
Joni Mitchell is
But thank you for saying that. Your voice, some of that was really evocative to me. It's like, oh, that sounds a lot like Joni, which
Thank
is
you.
hard to do.
Yeah, huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, she's a goddess and a god, and whatever genderless attribution I can give her. Name that last band again. Hiatus.
Coyote. Yeah.
Huh. Neat.
Funky group.
Yeah, I wonder about band names a lot. Your title of your new CD, or your debut CD, Distracted Focus, and you played that. It was a great song. Talk a little bit about that song and the album.
Well, Distracted Focus really fits the way that I exist in every way possible, I think. And the last line, I get distracted, but I always come back. Because I feel like I'm always trying to do a million things at once. And so I'll bounce around from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. But I always go back to the point where I finish the project. But because I do so many projects at once, it takes me 10 times longer than if I would just do one thing at a time. And that applies to everything that I do, the way that I socialize, the way that I work on my homework, the way that I work on any project. And for this album, it's taken me years, but I also have a lot of components that I'm excited to share with everyone. And I'm really trying to do it right, but it's been an interesting journey for me to bounce around and for the first time in my life, I've really been focused on this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. I need to work on I would love to buy a van and build a van, but no, I need to finish the album. I would love to move to Burlington, but no, I need to finish the album. And so as my mind flutters to all these ideas, I've been finally focused but distracted within that.
I love that. Pardon me. The comfort with that, because a lot of people would just complain. I have a theory that a lot of people's minds are just being rewired to be ADHD, and those people who are willing to accept or embrace that and not feel bad about it might be able to finish those projects.
It definitely gets to me.
Sometimes, yeah, when you don't finish something, right?
It's why is this taking so long?
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Yeah,
it's the way I work. So
yeah, and being okay with that. That's all right. Well, the sauntering, I love the word. At one time, as a hack writer, I remember writing all the verbs that were synonyms for to walk. And to saunter, I guess, is to kind of walk with not aimlessness, but with purpose, sort of in a purposeless way, if that makes any sense. Kind of. That's exactly in an open
my intention
way,
behind
right?
it. Yeah, I have a lot of spontaneity in the way that I navigate the world, but also a lot of intention. And I try and find that balance to always be prepared to be spontaneous.
Nice.
I saunter wherever the wind takes me, and I like to capture that so I can share it with everyone in this video series.
Right on. So we have this green screen behind us, but during the performance, we had some beautiful videos from Julia playing at one point. Part of her series, and this, for those of you who watch, you know what I'm talking about, but for those who didn't, coming in late, a lot of places where you're playing music in some outdoor experiences, a lot of sports, some extreme stuff, which I see. The first thing I saw today was you playing violin or viola on skis. And then I saw whitewater rafting.
Yeah, I went all over the place. Where was I rafting?
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to go through the Grand Canyon this spring in the midst of the pandemic. We made it. Our trip was right 4 days after our trip started, they closed the national park because of the COVID.
Wow.
And so we just made the cutoff. And so everyone else was quarantining, and I was quarantined in the Grand Canyon for 3 weeks, rafting from start to finish. And I have so much amazing footage that I'm very excited to share with everyone.
Nice.
And I also have a music video rafting down the Hudson River in the Adirondacks. And I don't think any of the footage for that was in tonight's compilation, but that video is actually already posted to my YouTube channel if people are interested in checking that out.
Right on.
So another rafting one.
Were you playing when you were in the raft?
At
some point?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, in the video, there I had the violin out on the raft. Also, throughout the entire canyon, I got to play all over the place. There are a lot of, and what I do is I sometimes I'll clip the GoPro right onto the end of the violin,
Right.
so that I can have the shot coming right up the neck, and you can see the vibrating strings. And
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, you can
That
also
is
catch-
so neat.
It's fun.
Yeah, and rock climbing too. Did I see that
Rock climbing.
too? What else?
Mountain biking. I have an inflatable dragon raft that I also took through some white water and had some adventures on the dragon.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what other. There's skiing, biking, climbing, rafting.
Well, you've hit the
those are
earth,
big
water,
ones.
and air there.
Hiking
too. You guys
of
were in a
course.
cave today. You during the performance. You mentioned
We were in a cave, yeah.
doing some photography and some
All
playing
sorts
and
of-
spelunkering
Yeah.
and playing at the same time.
Totally.
Huh.
Yeah. So if anyone has any ideas of other locations I could
Yes.
try, I'm always you say an idea, I'm always game.
That's
so
right,
careful,
please.
I might jump out of a plane. Oh no. Now I've done it to
There's
myself.
a fundraiser
Skydiving
here.
with the
We
violin.
want to help sponsor this here at the Underground. We're going to be having a skydiving fundraiser. Julia Rose will be playing viola, and submit
What
your
have I done?
requests now from 5,000 feet. And we're raising money for, what are your favorite nonprofits? You don't have to do this. I'm just kidding. But if you were to do this, let's just say, what do you stand behind? What do you also talked about the election. What do you want to see change in the world?
A lot. Basic human rights are really important. There's the Black Lives Matter movement going on right now, and that's been a big focus, I think, for a lot of people. And I think that's super important. And so not just Black Lives Matter, but Black, Indigenous people of color, that whole... and then women's rights is something that's a hot topic right now as well, especially with the new changes in the Supreme Court. LGBTQ, those are like the big three ones. And also just like the way that everything's being handled. I don't really want to go too far into this stuff. I think a lot of the
fair
people
enough.
watching this probably know me and have similar views. But just in general, I mean, it's important to have someone in office who doesn't lie about everything and who cares about basic human rights.
Yeah, and I respect you not wanting to get into it too much, but I always try to bridge the difference and figure out, well, what do we all agree on? Sometimes it's hard to find the right language that matches it, but everything you just described, nobody can easily say they have a problem with that. Oh, I have a problem with human rights. I have a problem with LGBTQ
Well,
rights.
apparently people do have a problem with those things.
But they won't say it out loud that do. That's what's most troubling, and they've been emboldened, I suppose, to do that. Some have been emboldened to say it out loud, but most have just been emboldened to.
and the earth.
Well, climate change.
That's
has been
that's a big
pushed
one, too.
Back burner. You're right. Yeah.
It shouldn't be on the back burner. No one's going to exist if our planet doesn't.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. I'm in your camp on all of these things, and I do want to, reinforce the, your last sentiment, or a couple times you said during your performance, get out and vote. If you, if you do like what's been going on the last few years, go out and vote. If you don't like it, run out and vote.
Yeah.
Mail in your vote.
And do it now. Do it early. There's so much early voting.
Seems like the writing's on the wall that some of those votes aren't going to get counted. So get out there now. Vote as certainly as you can. So the connection with music and place, I kept listening to your songs and thinking the layering and the looping that you have. There was one song you played where you actually, the self-empowerment song, where you did bring in some outside ambient animals and some birds and stuff, and it put me outside. A couple questions. One is, was there a place in mind that you had for that song? And I forgot the other question, but the other question was somewhere along the lines of, how do you define place in your passion for music?
I'm going to start with the second one because I've been asked that question before, because I bring my studio everywhere I go as the Sauntering Studio with the Sauntering Studios and Julie Rose Studios. That's my whole catchphrase. And so with that, a lot of these songs I wrote all over the place. I wrote one of those songs in the Grand Canyon. I had a recording device and recorded it and wrote it in the canyon. And I camp a lot. I have a setup in my car so I can sleep in my car. And a lot of the songwriting I've done while camping in my car. And so really the sky is the limit. A lot of place is always changing. And people ask me if that impacts the songs that I write. And I think I always feel at home wherever I go because I bring home with me, whether that's in my backpack or in my boat or in my car. And so I think that the importance of place is that it's important for me to constantly explore new places to find that inspiration, but I don't think that I necessarily am impacted for each song based on where I am in that moment. I think it's just the concept of always sauntering throughout my creative endeavors.
Nice.
And that song in particular, it's called Go On Alone. And the music video for that song is clips of me in all different types of places. It's the whole concept of how I can go wherever I want to go. I don't mind being alone because I can go wherever I want to go. Right. So it doesn't take place in one place, but rather it takes place in all the places.
Do you have that bring home with you statement in the song too, and I missed it? Or that's what makes it all possible, right? You said just now because you bring home with you in your car.
That's kind of in a different song, Life's in Progress. The whole album has a very similar theme. There's a lot of similar threads from each song to song, which when y'all take a moment to look through the lyrics, you'll catch that thread, I think. But there was a loop that I set that was all about home. Home is where I stand. Home is where I sleep. Home is wherever I am. There was a loop at one point in another song that was all about home.
Right on. That's great. Now is the Time was another song.
It was.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I guess, as I said, just in general, all the lyrics for all the songs are in this album are about just like being reflective and self-aware of like how we fit into the world, and a lot of it is from the lens of like me and my place in this world, but also with the intention of having the lyrics be relatable. So I guess Now is the Time is just another one of, if I were to say anything about that song in particular, I'd want to just talk about like the concept of the album in general and the theme of the lyrics.
Nice. That's great. Life is sort of, I feel like COVID-19 and this whole year of 2020 really has caused a lot of people to start to have more of your point of view a little bit. Life is sort of transient, and be grateful for it, and move through the world with openness. It seems like your music's all about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Seems like I don't know, the environment. Well, I don't know. It really occurred to me when you first played that song with the birds. Just this idea that it's all a layering and looping in general. You've got only your voice, only your instrumentation. A lot of people don't know much about looping, but it's its own kind of genre now. You mentioned Tune Yards and a couple others, Andrew Bird. Where do you see it going for you forward?
Well, I'm definitely, now that I have these songs written, I'm excited to pull some other people into the mix, some other artists, and I've been thinking a lot about how to weave the loops into a band, because I've seen these artists that you just mentioned, the ones that I mentioned, they do loop with a full band. And it's tricky for sure. There's nuances, and you really have to practice those songs together and figure it out. But yeah, I love the convenience that it allows me to be a one-woman show. It allows me to, because I plan to go on tour in the spring and drive around the country. I tried to do that this spring, but all my shows were canceled due to COVID.
Right.
So I love that it allows me to be flexible and have my own schedule and do what I want to and perform solo. But next, moving forward, I am excited to integrate my looping into a full band scenario. Not necessarily for all my shows. Like if I drive around the country, it's probably going to be solo. But to have that option is definitely the next step that I see.
Right. You've got self-empowerment with... I forgot the name of it. Go It Alone?
Go On Alone.
Go On Alone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This has been great.
Thank
it was
you.
a great performance.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming down to the Underground in Randolph here and or
Always.
up, I guess. You live in the Killington area? Or
Yeah,
do you live...
down in Rutland, actually. Two
Yep.
Rutland bands in a row.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Well, I'll pause there and talk about that. Rutland's kind of exploding. There's a lot of great music coming out of there these
There's
days.
some stuff going on.
Why is that? Because you're there.
No. I don't know. I chose Rutland because I work at Killington Ski Resort. So I ended up there for one reason, and I'm still there. So yeah, I guess. But there are a lot of talented bands down there for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Will you be playing? I know that's a hard question for everybody right now, but do you know any future gigs where you might be playing?
Yeah, not really.
Not at this point.
I might have one more outdoor show this season, but most likely I'll be doing some live streams for the rest of the winter. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be playing inside, but I like to set up my living room. I have a very tiny apartment, but I make enough room to set up my gear and do some live streams from my living room.
Nice.
So
and I see on your website there looks like there was a couple house parties you did pre-COVID. You just got to look for the bigger houses, I guess, and those house parties for those.
And this video series will be coming out, so that'll be a big way for me to connect with the world and to still share my creations through this video series.
Great. Well, we'd love to have you come back here and do this again. And,
always.
And thanks again so much for everything, for
Thank
your
you.
performance and teaching us a little bit more about a genre we don't know that much about. Your voice is beautiful and really loved your work. Thank you.
Thanks. And thanks for everyone who's been hanging out with us.
And thank you, Vincent, for, as always, putting on a great show. And to all the listeners as well. I'm not sure where the cameras are, but they're around here somewhere. For coming in, tuning in on Thursday nights to Live at the Underground. I'm Jamie Gage. Have a great night.